Welcome to Every Disney Fairy, where we go over every Disney fairy. Today's fairy is Rosetta from the books. In Rosetta's dress mess, we learn that Rosetta loves clothes almost as much as she loves flowers. Excited for an upcoming fashion show, she goes to see the sewing fairies and starts giving them advice on how to fix their dresses. No one is interested in her opinions, and she's starting to outright offend them. So Ham suggests she makes her own dress for the show to get her out of their hair. Rosetta gushes to Lily and Silvermist, but Lily lets her know she hurt the sewing talent fairy's feelings. Rosetta doesn't think she did actually and thinks maybe they're just jealous. Back in Rosetta's room, we learn that Tinkerbell had to actually create her an entire wardrobe because her clothes could not fit in the first one. She may even have the most dresses of any fairy in Pixie Hollow. We learn she doesn't have a favorite animal, however, she does like hummingbirds. This inspires her to design a hummingbird feather dress. To get the feathers, she decides she needs to go see Beck. On the way to see Beck, she ends up stumbling across the fashion show being set up. She starts giving pointers again and gets bonked on the head with a soon-to-be floorboard. When she finally goes to see Beck, Rosetta compliments Beck's hair and she knows something has to be wrong. The bonk on the head apparently knocked her fashion sense out. She asks Beck about the hummingbird feathers and Beck says that they're molting right now, so she can't help. When Rosetta asks if they can pluck the fresh feathers, Beck is horrified and tells her absolutely not. This causes Rosetta to be upset because how could the birds pick the fashion show of all days to molt? Realizing she's been neglecting her garden, Rosetta calls on Lily to help. And by help, I mean take care of her garden for her while she's busy with the fashion show. Rosetta tries to get further fashion inspiration from Beth, Silvermist, and Dulcie, but with that bonk on her head, her fashion sense is just not there. She has a terrible nightmare and wakes up one day out from the show. In the tea room for breakfast, Tinkerbell notices something is up with Rosetta because she's wearing a lampshade as a hat. Tinkerbell suggests that since she had her fashion sense knocked out of her, they should knock it back into her, and she tries to hit Rosetta in the head with a board. Unfortunately, Rosetta has instincts, and Tink is unable to hit her, so they decide they'll do a sneak attack. Rosetta will go about her day, and Tinkerbell will randomly smack her in the head with a board. We also see Rosetta admiring Tinkerbell's go-getter attitude, wishing she were like that. When Rosetta comes back to her garden, she sees Lily and Silvermist tending to it and gets a little bit jealous that her flowers seem okay without her. The two ask to come along as Rosetta says she's putting the finishing touches on the dress she hasn't even started yet. And they both notice fairly quickly something is up when she starts gathering random items that make no sense for a dress. When Tink finally sneak attacks and misses, Silvermist and Lily are horrified, wondering what Tink is doing. Rosetta comes clean and Tinkerbell, Silvermist, and Lily all offer to help her make the dress. They decide each fairy will have a part of the outfit, and Rosetta's given the shoes and the hat. Rosetta hates the final result, and now there's no time left. It's the day of the fashion show. At first, she's embarrassed thinking about what the sewing talent fairies will say, but then she embraces her identity as a garden fairy and spends some time in her garden. As she's laying upside down admiring a rose on a toadstool, she falls and bonks her head again, knocking the fashion sense right back. Looking at the flower upside down inspired her to make the dress upside down, so she flips everything on the dress and gets ready to go to the fashion show. On the way to the show with Tink, Lily, and Silvermist, she does bonk her head again, but she's fine this time. She makes it to the show, and everyone cheers, including Rosetta, for the other sewing talent fairies' dresses that she had nitpicked before.